Hi guys, my name is Stefania. Welcome to my channel. So today we are going to play with the James Charles and Morphe collab. I have not opened this box yet. I'm very excited. A little hesitant, a little bit like, we'll see if it's good. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% sold on this yet. But I did pick it up from the Morphe store, and then towards the end we will do a comparison of the 39A, which is supposedly remodeled. That one is remodeled after this one. So we'll kind of see if they're pretty similar, if you need it or pass on it, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to just get this on the eyes. So we will do the eyeballs first, and then we will do some comparisons and all that good stuff. If you want to keep watching and find out what I think, please don't forget to subscribe before we get started, and I'd love to have you guys be part of my little growing family. I really appreciate it, and let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so I'm going to get started by priming my lids. I'm going to use the Smashbox lid primer. It's in the shade Light. I have not reached for a lid primer in I don't know how long. I'm so used to using concealers, but I'm going to try to follow his rules, and it said do not use concealer. Try to use the actual lid primer, so I will do that. Which I don't know why, I actually do like lid primers. It's just more like, it's just easier, you know? I'm just too lazy to do it. And like the concealer works fine, usually. So I don't know, that is the one thing about this. There are so many shades. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like before I dip into it. So you have all the names here on this little thing that I will lose in 10 minutes. And then this is what the palette looks like. It's visually so nice to look at. My only thing is like, there are so many shades in here that I'm just like, what do I do? So we are going to have some fun and really play around. That's what's going to happen. So wish me luck. I'm going to zoom you guys in just a little bit more. Alright, we are going to go ahead and get started. I did put some powder underneath my eyes just in case there is a ton of fallout. I have no idea what it's going to be, so just in case. Also, I am just going to put the names on the screen. That way it doesn't take me too much time to look at that little plastic thing, because that's going to take too long. So I will let you guys know what I'm using. Okay, so I'm dipping in with this red shade. And this is, I'm honestly going to be like, this was the shade I was most excited for. Reds are super hard to find, just like a normal, like, red. So I was really excited for this one. And I'm kind of just packing that. And then I'm going to sweep it in. So I'm just kind of pick up product as slowly as possible. I'm not going to try to build that like crazy. Just more towards, focus it more towards the outer. It is pigmented. You can't say it's not pigmented. It's there. Obviously it shears out once you start to blend, which, I mean, he did explain like how to use all the pigments, but for right now it's a learning process. I'm going to use it the way I want to. So okay, with a little bit smaller of a brush, I'm going to blend the shade that's like right on top over it. Just kind of deepen up the area. So far everything is blending. I mean, I was a little bit nervous because he said like everything was like, a lot of the pure pigments weren't going to blend the way that they normally do, but so far it's working okay. It feels really nice and smooth. No problems. Alright, now I'm going to take this orangey shade and kind of blend that right over top. Oh, wow. So you definitely get pigment. There's definitely a little bit of powder kick up. It doesn't necessarily bother me, but it is, you know, I did want to mention it. This is definitely a different look for me. We will see how I like this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do a cut crease. So I'm going to take it halfway across the lid to about right there. Okay, so I am back. I'm going to kind of wait for the concealer to dry before trying out that white, because that's what I'm very interested to try and see if it actually packs on well. Whites are so hard to like use where I feel like they're actually a really good white, so we will see. We will see. Let's go ahead and we're gonna take that red shade again. My brushes are gonna be very, very dirty after this. Like, I love color, but then you use them. And it is true, I didn't pick up his brush collection because, you know, I have the Jaclyn Hill collection. I do prefer certain brushes more than, even though Morphe's super affordable, I have brushes in my collection that I really do enjoy. So for me, I was like, I really don't need a whole new collection. You can buy like his individual ones in the store. I don't know if they do that online or not, but he does give you 2 of each brush. So I was kind of just like, well, that's freaking nice, because yeah, you do get your brushes super dirty. Now I'm going to go in with that orange that we use up here and just kind of place that over. Just a little bit, not a lot, because now I'm going to just wipe this brush off and we're going to go in with the yellow. So I want to know how that shade looks. Essentially, this is a Fruit Loop palette. Like, that's what you look at and you're like, Fruit Loops. Like, it matches it perfectly. That's what it should have been called. Ooh. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to pick up a little bit more. All the shades are blending in really nicely into each other. I'm going to pack that a little bit more. You do, I mean, I'm working really slowly with this. I feel like with color, I kind of need to. If you are a pro, great for you, but it just helps me kind of prevent fallout, and then 2, making sure that the colors actually look like a gradient and not just all one color. All right, we are gonna test out the very, very white shade of the palette. Like, I can't even look, like, I feel like this is the only video where it's like I'm super like looking over this way, because I can't hold it in a hand. Like, it's just too big to do that. That's what she said. Okay, we're gonna pack this white through here. So that's with 1 layer. Let's go ahead and go in with a few, because I don't feel like it's necessarily as white as I want it to be. It's not bad, but definitely not. And I'm trying to really just pack. So as you layer it, it does get more intense. I would still, like, probably next time I do this, I'll use a white base instead of a concealer, because it's still not giving me like super like white vibes. It's just kind of like, it's okay white, you know? And then actually, instead of leaving it all matte, let's go ahead and take in the shimmery, like champagne-y color. And let's try that out. That way I try at least 1 shimmer. Okay, so when I swatch that shade, that's what it's coming off as. But that's not working as well on the lid. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and spray the brush and do it that way. All right, I think that worked a little bit better. Not like the most intense shimmer, but it's there. I'm gonna dip in with the Stefania brush, and I'm just gonna try to tight line with this one and see if that works. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay. And usually I don't really use a lot of the black in a palette, so I'm happy like just to use it as a liner. I don't really need like the super black eyeshadow, but I'm happy he included it. All right, I'm gonna do this eye and then we'll do the lower lash line. Okay, I am back. I just did some lashes, but the black did actually work really well. So I don't have any actual eyeliner on, I just used the black shadow. So now we are going to go ahead and do the lower lash line. As you can see, I did wipe away the powder, but there was no actual like fallout. So that was really, really nice. And surprising, because I thought for sure there'd be a lot, considering there is definitely powder kick up in the pan. But yeah, it was not bad at all. I'm just gonna go about halfway in. trying to find the freaking cap and it's on the end of the thing. Jesus. Alright. Let's go ahead. We are going to take... I don't think I want to do the exact same thing on the bottom because I do want you guys to get a feel for the palette, even though I normally would. The only thing I'm going to do a little bit different is I'm going to take some of the champagne-y pink type shades just to kind of see what they can do, because I'm actually really excited for those shades. Alright, so I'm going to take this really light pink for that inner corner. So metallics, I feel like you have to kind of get them wet. They're not really going on that metallic, and then once they're wet, they're so much better. But I feel like the brush needs to be wet. So I would say you definitely need to use the metallics in this palette wet, or else they're just not going to give you that intensity that you want. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and spray my brush with some Fix Plus. I'm going to take this other pink shade that I am, like... I know it's really boring that out of this palette the pink is what gets me, but I'm just like, it does. So I'm going to kind of stamp that right through here. If you've been watching my channel, you guys know I love like rosy pink shades. I don't know what it is. Just on my eyes though, not really on my lips. But I love rose golds and pinks. That's a pretty color. It's not coming out super, super pink, but like, I like it. Hey gosh, you guys, we are on a roll with scary movies. We watched The Haunting on Hill House on Netflix, and now it's like we can't get enough. We've watched like every scary movie that we can possibly find, and then we've now watched like American Horror Story. We started over again because we were just like, I didn't watch the first season. I started watching it the second season, and it's just been, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I think I'm holding on to Halloween, and I'm like, I'm not ready for Christmas, not ready for Christmas. We're gonna keep watching scary movies, and then it's not gonna be Christmas. Okay, so now that I took that pink, I do actually really like that underneath the lash line. It's a little extra, you know. And then we're gonna go in, I think, with this orange shade to blend out the rest. I don't think I want to go in with that red and look like I have an eye infection. So I think the orange is what we're gonna do. Man, I cannot find my lash glue to save my life. I found my House of Lashes one, so if my eyelashes look a little weird, it's because I was like, this is definitely expired. I don't want it too close to my eyes, and yeah. Two, those things stick on. House of Lashes glue is no joke, which is great, but sometimes I pull my eyeballs off. Like all my eyelashes come with the fake eyelashes. But I'm actually pretty impressed so far. Like, everything is working really well. I do think everything works better if you pack it rather than smudging as much. But I'm surprised at the little amount of fallout. Okay, my nose is running. Last thing we're gonna try together is the highlight shade. So he did say this shade could be used as a highlight, and I can definitely see that. There's also other shades in this. I really feel like if you guys want a look, I feel like I could almost get away with doing multiple things. I'm pretty sure you could probably use one of these shades as a blush for sure. All right, let's go ahead. Gosh, my contour. Sorry, my contour, it's these freaking zits that make it look bad, you know? Let's go ahead and wet the brush. Whew. I think it's allergy season too. Okay, let's wet the brush. All right. But yeah, see how I mean, it's definitely going to emphasize the texture right there, which is totally fine, because I swear those bits better go away. But it is really pretty. There we go. This side works better. So even on my skin tone, this works. I wouldn't say like there's a whole lot of highlighting shades, but like a few of these metallics you could definitely use for highlights. Like, let's go ahead and dip into that shade that we used on the lid, because I think that rose gold. Yeah. So if you want it more intense, you can just kind of pop into any of the other shades. Like, it's not bad. The last thing I need to do is my brow bone highlight, which can use the same shade we used on the lid. Alright, I'm going to zoom you guys out, and then we are going to talk about all these. Okay, so forgive the awful people outside, because The noise is not going anywhere. I think the people that do our HOA just pretend to do stuff because there's no way they're this busy. My front yard has all rocks. And my backyard. Why are there always lawnmowers blowing? I don't know. I don't get it. Sometimes it's at 6:30 in the morning. I am very tempted to spray them with a hose. I would never actually do that, but actually, if I'm old, I'm so gonna be that person. Just saying. Anyways, I really like how this look came out. I think that overall, he did a really good job with this palette. Like, I thought that maybe, you know, with Morphe, you never know, because it's so hyped up. And for the price, you're kind of like, I don't know why we get so upset if they're not great. The Vault collection, I tried and I was just not a fan of, but I love her original palette so much. Those are the Jaclyn Hill palettes. Anyways, that's really all I've tried from Morphe other than the 39A Dare to Create, and then this one, which was remodeled after that one. So I'm going to kind of go over this. I do want to play around with this more and play around with some of the shimmer shades and maybe actually do a neutral look in the next video, and then let me know what colorful look you guys want to see. Before I like to give a final review of a palette, I like to test out more shades, and unfortunately it's just how was I going to test out, you know, all these. So I want to continue to use it and put up a few more tutorials this week, so let me know what you guys want to see. In terms of if you already have the 39A, this is ridiculous. Like, these are books for sure, which I use this one quite often, but I feel like this is gonna also be something. This is great because it has so many transition shades that I can find an eyebrow shade for, I can find a contour shade for, so that's really nice. But in terms of the actual eyeshadow colors, I really just get a lot of neutral looks out of this. I feel like this palette is a lot darker. The only shade that I like, absolutely love in this palette is this one right here, which is kind of similar to the one at the bottom. So we'll do some swatches, but for the most part, just looking at them side by side, you can really see that this one is a lot darker of a vibe than this one. There's a lot more brighter pops of color. Like I said, this looks like a Fruit Loops box, whereas this one, I don't know, looks like Raisin Bran. Like, but yeah, I actually do reach for this one a lot, and I feel like I am going to get a lot of use out of this one. I will say that this does not carry a lot of transition shades, especially when you're comparing it to this. This one I feel like has too many, and this one I feel like could maybe not be enough. Like the middle row that he chose for the bigger pans, saying that like you'll probably use these ones more. I don't necessarily agree with that. And the white could have been a little bit more white, but I feel like that's kind of in every single palette. I really need to try the Sugar Pill White. Anyways, I really don't think that there's a lot of shades that are exactly the same. So let's go with that violet shade that is from the 39, this Morphe one. Unleash Your Inner Artist, right? And then this one is going to be from the Dare to Create. So those shades are probably an exact, like that's pretty much an exact match. But those are really the only ones my eyes go towards. Maybe a few of the more brown shades, like this is from the Unleash Your Artist. And then there's so many browns in this one that I'm like, I don't even know which one to swatch. So as you can see, I mean, the browns are pretty similar, but I feel like that's with any brown in any palette. But that's really the only ones I feel like are an exact match. Everything else is different. So I would not say that like if you have the 39A, you're going to feel like you're buying the same exact palette over again. No, I feel like they're completely different, and I would reach for them for completely different reasons. But yeah, that is my final review. I think for $39, I would pick this up again and again. I am going to return the Huda Beauty palette just because I feel like I can only get a pink and a purple look. Even though the shimmers are gorgeous in that palette, I want something with a little bit more variety, and I can definitely get freaking variety out of this. I will say, if you are a beginner, try not to get overwhelmed. This is a lot of shades, and so even me, not that I'm a makeup artist or anything, but I do get a little bit overwhelmed when opening up this palette. I don't need every single shade in a palette. Like, I'm kind of looking at this like, this could be very, like, almost like, oh gosh, I don't want to look at that. You know, like the movies where like the screens and like the lights are flickering and on and off and you're just like, what the hell is going on? That's kind of how I feel about this. So I would definitely have an idea of what you're gonna do before going into it, or else you might look at it and be like, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at here. But supposedly they're kind of in little quadrants of what colors you could use together. I don't know if I see that. Just saying. But overall, I completely recommend this. In store, you can definitely use a coupon code, and then online, obviously, you can as well. But for $39, yeah, it's a Morphe palette, but it's a freaking good one so far. I won't give you my very final impressions of this until I do a few more tutorials. First impressions, though, it went over really well. There were some powder kick-ups, but nothing horrible, and no fallout on my eyes, which was really great. I'm not saying every shade is going to be like that, but well, today it was. But yeah, that is kind of it. The only thing I wish was there was maybe a few more, maybe like a caramel transition shade and not such dark ones. Because there's really there's that one that doesn't even really show up on my skin. And then these are all pretty deep, which they'll be fine. But I still wish there was maybe a few more transition colors. Anyways, that's just me nitpicking. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what colors you want me to use next. I think I'm going to do a neutral look, like I said, tomorrow. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys are picking it up, if you're not interested in this, all your good thoughts. I don't have the original very colorful Morphe palette, so I cannot speak on that. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with this. We're gonna get to work. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next video.